Let's start with today's visual text. Now, can you tell me how many marks is visual text for PSLE and how many questions? Do you remember?
10 marks.
No, visual text is the only one that's a very weird mark and weird number. It's 8. 8 questions. Good try. 8 questions, 8 marks, right? And visual comes from the word, something you can see, right? It's like a pictorial form with a few words. Now, synthesis and transformation. How many marks? How many questions? Anybody?
4 questions and 4 marks.
A good try. Synthesis and transformation is a lot of marks. It's not just 4 marks. It's a lot of marks. It's
5 questions, 10 marks.
5. Yes, correct. It's 5 questions. Yes, good try, both of you. So, and yes, 5 questions, 10 marks. Okay. Each question is 2 marks. Okay, so each question is 2 marks. So if you miss any words or you misspell words or anything, forget your punctuation, you lose 1 mark out of the 2 marks for the synthesis and transformation. Now, comprehension, there is no such thing as MCQ for PSLE, but of course, for now, you have it. Okay, it's 10 marks usually, and it's 10 questions, right? So we have that. So let's try all of them. Now, who can remember? Do you remember what a synthesis mean? I remember explaining to you, right? Synthesis comes from the word what? What does synthesis mean? I see. You synthesize things means you combine.
Oh,
Remember, you combine 2 sentences into 1, right? And transformation, transformers, so it means change, right? So you combine 2 sentences, you change the structure into 1 without changing the meaning. That's what it means. Okay, let's look at visual text first. But before that, we're going to learn a few things about visual text. Okay, what color do you want my pen to be? Who wants to choose first? My pen color? Yes, Deati?
It's
Sorry?
a bit bronze-ish at the bottom row.
Okay, this one, right?
Yeah, that
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's very dark. I like this color. Okay, let's go to the question. Okay, so let's first learn a few things about visual text. So punctuating the visual text, meaning let's look at the different punctuations that you usually see in visual text. Okay, so let's look at the first one. So now, whenever you see like a visual text, something on the top and it's bolded, okay, it's bigger font and it's bolder and it's larger in size, it's indicating obviously a title, right? It's indicating a title or a heading, right? This tells you that the part is very, very important because it tells you what the whole entire text is about, right? They also want to target the audience's attention, right? And it also conveys a sense of urgency or excitement about what's going on, right? So that's why it's kept. That's why it's cap locked, because you always, you know, when you type a message, sometimes you cap lock all your words, meaning you're either screaming at the person or you're just very excited about something. Hey, I scored a 90 upon 90 for my exam. So you're very excited, you type everything in cap lock, right? So excitement or yelling, right? Two things that means everything is cap lock. So here it just means excitement or urgency, right? So that is one thing to take note for visual text. Another thing to take note for visual text is this. Sometimes they like to use acronyms. Acronyms meaning the letters are combined together and they stand for something. For example, PSLE is an acronym for what?
Primary school leaving exam.
Yes, primary school leaving examination, right? That's PSLE, right? What is CTE? If your parents drive, you will have heard of the word CTE, right? What does CTE mean? Ooh. CTE is Central Expressway. When you go on the expressway, you need to pay more like this money that you need to pay, right? Just to, they tax you for using the road. So Central Expressway, that's what it means. Express. Okay. What does MOE mean? This is one of the ministries,
Minister
right?
of Education.
Ministry of Education, yes, Ministry of Education. So yes. What does BTS mean? I'm not talking about the Korean band. Okay, I know that's BTS as well. But what does BTS as an acronym stand for? Do you know? Behind the scenes. So whenever they start a production, a company, they want to make something, they want to create something, they want to show you what's happening behind the scenes, the printing and all of that. So behind the scenes is a short form for BTS, short form for behind the scenes as well. Okay, so sometimes they use acronyms. So here you see the acronym PALS, PALLs, right? Can you see in the passage? PALS, and they put a star, a asterisk sign, right? Because below they're telling you what does a PALS mean. So it means puppies, the P is for puppies, adoption, L is love, and then S is shelter. So that's what it means. Sometimes they like to use short acronyms in visual text as well. So usually they will give you what it means, the long form in the asterisk. So that's another thing to look out for visual text. Another thing that you will see sometimes is apostrophe, open inverted comma and close inverted comma, like the word dates, right? That's open and close. Why? Because this is an interesting punctuation, right? They use this because they want to tell you that the word has been deliberately used to suggest something else, Okay, it's a word play, meaning it's used to mean something else. So here the dates does not mean the time, the date as in the calendar date, like 15 January. It means something else, double meaning. So they put quotation marks. Can you tell me what does this date mean? I mean, one date means literally the calendar date, right? What is another meaning for date? Let me take you out on a date means what? Have you heard of this phrase? Let me take you out on a date. I know you're too young for this, but date basically means you have an appointment with someone. Okay, sometimes it can mean like your partner, or your boyfriend or girlfriend. Sometimes it can even be a friendship, like your friend. You take a friend out on a date. So this date here means, you know, you spend time with someone that means something to you. So of course these 3 dogs are out for adoptions. Okay, they are available for these dates, so you can take some time to bond with them and get to know them before you decide whether you want to purchase them, okay, and spend the rest of your life with you. So that's why it's called a date. And of course it's love and shelter. It's all love themed, right? Like Valentine's Day themed. So that's why they use the word dates in that sense, not to mean the literal date, but to mean you taking and spending time with someone. Okay. Sometimes they also, so whenever you see words in quotation marks, it just means that, okay, it has another meaning, not the literal meaning. Now, you also see exclamation marks sometimes, right, in visual text. And that indicates urgency again, or excitement, okay? And it's only used for informal, never for formal, right? So you will need to access why there is an exclamation mark. Sometimes they will ask you, why does this sentence, why is it exclaimed? Okay, why is the need to exclaim? So of course here, come on down, okay, it's an urgency. They want these animals to be adopted as fast as possible. Urgently, and so they're asking you to come on down. So there's an exclamation mark there. Okay, and what else? Okay, so exclamation marks are used at the end of statements, okay, when a strong emotion is being expressed, good or bad, okay, whether surprise, excitement, delight, anger, fear, or shock. When they're expressing a very strong emotion, they want you to feel how they're feeling. They use an exclamation mark for emphasis at the end of the sentence. Okay. So yes, this one is another one, ellipsis. This means the 3 dots. Have you ever read like a novel or story? Sometimes they use these 3 dots, dot, 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 just 3. That's called an ellipsis. Okay, you see this in stories. You see this whenever sometimes you watch a movie or a series. Sometimes they use ellipsis as well. These 3 dots. What does these 3 dots mean? Okay, it means 4 things. It can mean any of the 4 things. Okay, 1, that some of the words have been removed. Okay, that's 1. Some of the words have been removed, okay, from the quote, because they don't want to highlight the whole thing. They just want to show you the more important words, so they put the more important word, the rest is dot, dot, dot. Second, they want to create a suspense. Okay, they want you to find out what's going to happen next. We don't want to tell you now, okay? So they create a suspense. Third, okay, it can be a trailing off thought before someone cuts in. So if you read a storybook, dot, 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 then someone says something else, right? You know that it's like a cutting in of a trailing of thought, okay? Or it can be used after etc. Okay, after etc. to show there's a lot more. Okay, but you don't want to list everything. Okay, so that's the 4 reasons why you use, okay, ellipsis. And yeah, so this one is asterisks. Asterisks already mentioned, right? Asterisks, they always tell you that there's a footnote that gives you more information on what the asterisk is supposed to mean, right? So here the footnote is at the bottom, literally the next line. Usually it'll be at the bottom of a passage, but here it's literally the next line, okay? Usually at the bottom. All right. Okay, and then here, okay, what are rhetorical questions? This one is also very tricky. In secondary school, you also tested for that. Rhetorical questions are questions that do not need you to give me an immediate answer. It's like, for example, okay, if I ask you a question, isn't your health very important? Of course, I'm not going to wait for you to tell me, yes, it's important. It's a known fact that your health is important, right? But I'm giving a question just for emphasis. Like some students for composition, they like to start their composition with a rhetoric question, or in the introduction, they have a rhetoric question. They don't answer the question, but it's just there for emphasis. It's one way to start a composition as well, right? But you don't expect an answer because it's common sense. Everybody knows the answer already, okay? It may not have an obvious answer, or it can have 1,001 answers, so they leave it open-ended, okay? So what are you waiting for? Obviously, they're not going to tell you the answer because you know what they're waiting for, right? They're waiting for you to come and adopt the puppies, okay? So why they use it to make the reader feel as if you are being directly spoken to, okay, speaking directly to them. So when you use that in composition, it seems like you're directly talking to the examiner, like, hey, okay, this isn't this something. So yeah, that's why you see two questions in this visual text without answers, but it's just a rhetoric question. So now we can look at today's visual text, which you all have done. Good job. So I know that Jati only have the first question wrong. So do you already know why is the first question
Yeah, I clicked it wrong.
Oh, you clicked it?
Yeah, I first put that and then I realized that it should be the other one, and then I tried clicking it. I thought I clicked it, but then I didn't click it.
Oh, so but that means, but otherwise that's already correct, right? So your whole visual text was full marks. So very good. Okay, visual text is a section you want to score full marks in because all the answers are staring at you in your face. Now, my first question I have is, what does inaugural mean? This word. Let me try and underline it. This word. What does inaugural mean? Yes, Diati?
Like when someone's trying something like for the first time.
Yes, like you're launching a new company, launching a new activity, a product for the first time, right? So the first launching, right? Very good. Gives our point. So first launching is the beginning of an institution, beginning of an activity, beginning of a time period. So that's when you are using inaugural, okay? And what does daunting mean? There's the word daunting as well. I saw somewhere. I can't remember where it was. Let me see if I can find it. Daunting, 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 daunting. Where did I see it? If you can find daunting, let me know, okay? Where is that word? Where is that word? Am I imagining things? I clearly think I did see the word. Oh, here. Daunting challenges. What does daunting mean? Anybody? Sometimes something is daunting means what? It's very intimidating, right? It's difficult to deal with something. So intimidating means something that's seemingly difficult, okay, but it's not, right? But it's taking a lot of pressure on you, okay? It's a lot of pressure on you, so it's intimidating. So that's what it means, okay? Intimidating. Okay, intimidating. So seemingly difficult. All right, is there any other words that you do not know the meaning of in the visual text that you want to clarify or ask? If there isn't, we will look at the questions. Okay, don't have. All right. Okay, so according to the flyer, according to the flyer, which of the following is true about movie under the stars? So they're asking what movie under the stars, that section only, and they're asking which one is true, right? So which one is a tick, not a cross? So A, the animation has won numerous awards. Is that true? Did they mention anything about it? So you need to check in the passage, right? And then you cross. So this is not mentioned, okay? Of course, the rugs and chairs are provided is not mentioned, okay? So this is not true. You need to bring your own portable chairs. And then the movie is screened at 4 p.m. No, right? It's screened from 4 p.m. It says from anytime after that, okay? So it's not only at 4 p.m. The answer is C. Okay. So yes, I know risky, you put 1D as well, right? You put 1D. So the reason why it cannot be D is if you look at the thing here. Can you see? From 4 p.m. Do you see that? From 4 p.m. Meaning anytime after 4 p.m. there's a screening. So that's not true, right? So the answer has to be C. And where does it tell you it's C? The school is organizing this event for the first time. You know it's C because, can you see inaugural? That's not explained to you.